I've noticed something quite interesting about the Ark as I've been playing. They have faster ways to take down than you'd first think. Now bear in mind I've got a Venator and an Anvil. What do you think is the best way to take down this rocketeer right here? A lot of people will go for the thrusters, and sure, you can take 2 of those down. But there's an even easier method that's much faster. If we aim for this point here, his little eyebrow, it will knock off that armor plating, and behind it is the white armor plating, which takes more damage from my weapons. So, we're going to use the Anvil, which has strong arc armor penetration, to break down that outer layer first, and then we're going to use the Venator to shoot past it. There's the armor gone, and now we bring out the Venator and just keep firing right at this point. Now, a lot of people will try and take down the thrusters as it flies out in and out of the air. But if we just focus this point instead, it's going to go down a lot quicker. Just keep shooting that white part right on the top. Look, it's already smoking. And we're using a low arc armor penetration weapon. Look, it's already on fire. Next up, let's take a look at how we can take out this Bombardia faster if we've got the right weapons in our hand. First, I'll explain the hole cracker strategy, and then the best strategy when you don't have a hole cracker. You see this area here? If you shoot here, you're going to be shooting the part that's going to do the most damage once you've broken that outer armor. That is going to be the fastest way to take it out nice and quickly. If you go for the knees, sure, you'll disable it quicker, but it's going to take a lot more shots to take down. This is a perfect example here. We're going to aim and fire for that shot right there. 1, 2, 3. All right, we hold up. Let's go again. 4, 5, 6. And it's pretty much dead, boys. Just like that, it's gone. Okay, but what if you want to take out one of these big boys and you don't bring a hole cracker? Well, your first thought might be to grab yourself a Anvil or a Ferro for that higher arc armor penetration. But here's the thing. The Bastion's knees don't have high arc armor. So instead of bringing in a weapon that has high arc armor penetration, bringing a weapon that does the most amount of damage and a fast reload. And then focus on those yellow, good old golden knees. And if you try and aim for the outer ones, you can do it without taking damage from the main thing. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look how quick we can take this out with a weapon that only has moderate arc armor penetration. It's almost down already. And now you run in like this and shoot it from the back whilst it's down. You don't have long though. Now you got to run back behind cover and do the whole thing again with another leg. Look at this. We can keep shooting whilst it's still firing. We go again. And here's another trick. You can shoot right into its core right here. It does even more damage. Don't shoot the yellow canister. You've got an angle on an even weaker part of the body. All right, now we've got to try and rotate it around. Kill that player because he's trying to ruin the day. As you can see, a weapon like the Venator, which has a fast reload and a better rate of fire, ends up working out much better than an Anvil or a Ferro, which takes so long to reload and doesn't have the greatest rate of fire. All right, we ran out. I came in with a half-broken Venator, so we'll finish the job with this. Actually, you know what? We'll use that guy's Rattler. Showcase that it can even be done with a Rattler. Oh, never mind. Thanks for the help. Okay, but what if you don't have a hole cracker, you don't have a Venator, your aim's really bad, and you really need to get a Bastion killed as soon as humanly possible? What's the best way? Well, take these explosive canisters, throw them on the ground outside of a building's entrance, shoot the Bastion to bait it over, and then explode the canisters. Once it's down, shoot it in the back a few times, and it will be destroyed. Now you're probably wondering, where do I get these canisters? Well, it's easier than you'd first think. Firstly, Celeste sells 5 per day, so if you really need to take this down, that's probably the easiest way. Or you go to Stella Montis in this room on the 3rd floor, and you'll always be able to find a bunch of fuel cans there. A few runs here, and you've got enough to take down a couple of Bastions. Now, because these fuel canisters spawn so much on Stella Montis, they're really great at countering the shredders as well. If we put a stack of them down on the ground, yep. As soon as they activate, they destroy the fuel canisters and blow themselves up. Now, if you need even more fuel cans, there are more to be found. If we go to the lobby metro and then turn this way, you'll see the metro admin room, which is about here on the map. Come in here, and you'll also often find a bunch more fuel canisters sitting on the desk here. So there's a bunch around that you can use to take down the shredders. Now let's talk about the fastest way to take down the Matriarch and the Queen. The best strategy for the Matriarch is to find somewhere where you can get as close as possible to the Matriarch, but you're safe indoors from all of the Ark that end up getting spawned in, and away from the potential of the homing missiles hitting you, usually underground or in a building with a nice roof. Now, every time this shield opens up, you'll be able to damage the Matriarch's core directly, and it doesn't matter what weapon you use. In fact, I took down a Matriarch with a hairpin to showcase that you can do it as long as you focus on this core area. Now, if you have a hole cracker or something with very good arc armor penetration, focus on breaking open these parts here so that the core is revealed at all times, not only when the shield is activated. And then just keep firing at the core and it will eventually get taken down. With the Queen, it's a similar story. Just get as far away as humanly possible, and this time keep shooting the top of the Queen with a hole cracker or even a Pharaoh, to be honest, and eventually you'll break through that outer armor and you'll be able to use pretty much any weapon to just deal damage straight to the Queen's main health. For both the Matriarch and the Queen, you can just shoot on the legs, and once the leg outer armor falls off, those parts are lootable. So if you really want a Queen part or a Matriarch part, you don't even have to kill the whole thing. You just have to break off a leg and bring it back home for dinner. Now let's speed run through some of the easier Ark, in case any of you struggle with it. The Snitch, you want to try and break 2 of the white outer parts, right? So 1 shot there, and then 1 shot. Oh, if we can hit it. There we go. And then it will fall out of the sky and hit the ground. For the Wasp, you can shoot out the fans, but I find that it becomes far harder to track it. So instead, I just shoot the white belly underneath the eye. Wait for it to stabilize a little bit, and then we shoot again. And then 1 more, take it out. And obviously, if it's closer, it's far easier to shoot it a little bit faster. Now for the Hornet, if it's coming straight at you like this, then what I like to do, honestly, is just shoot through the first armor plating. Because I can't be bothered to wait for it, you know, to get in position. And then we kind of just wait and dive out of the way for one of the electrocution things. And then we just keep shooting that front thruster. You can just break through the armor, even with something like a kettle, which has low arc armor penetration. For the fireballs, if you don't have a high arc armor penetration weapon, it's going to take a lot of bullets to destroy it. So instead, wait for it to roll towards you, open up its flame balls, and then 1 bullet will do it. Just make sure you step backwards, otherwise you'll get caught in the flames. Speaking of flames, that's the best way to take down the Leaper. So stock up some fireball burners or blaze nades if you need to take those out. Otherwise, just aim for the eye. Yes, the legs can be destroyed, but if you break the outer armor on the eye and just keep shooting that, you're going to be doing a lot of damage to it. Alright, hopefully these tips will help you take down the Ark faster. Keep in mind that yes, you could just use a wolf pack or a bunch of deadlines or, you know, all of the explosives, but this is more aimed towards those players that don't have those right now, or for the situations where you need to go into a raid and kill one of these things when you never really planned to. And hopefully these tips will help you deal with the Ark better no matter what your loadout is. Now you understand how Ark armor penetration works. Once you've broken that armor down, any weapon will do damage to the Ark no matter what. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.